Hey guys, welcome back to another What If here. Today we are doing What If Asta had Anti-Magic Early Part 3. If you don't know what happened in the last part, then you're gonna have to watch it. Not watch it, watch it. Oops. Yeah, I'm kind of tight on time, so this may only be 20 minutes long. 20, 25, 30 minutes long, probably 30 minutes long, anyway. So so we'll be pretty much leaving off where I ended the last part, where Captain Yami and Asta pretty much are walking out of the woods near the Black Bull's hideout, as not even before Asta had met really anyone. Well, like all the Black Bulls, he's only met really one or two, the captain and his pretty much like teleporting guy, his ride as he calls him. Yeah, and so they'd be walking back as everyone just be like just outside, kind of wondering, what was that like, or could that be their new new kind of teammate? As even of course like Noel, who ran. No, I don't think. Well, was she? Well, yeah, I would say she didn't be there, but she'd just be like hiding out. Which I think, I think they do show her that like she is there. She's just hiding herself. I don't know. Not sure. Can't remember. But yeah. Anyway, so it's like. I'll say a minute goes by as they walk back, and Finra and they're like, "Oh, there's Captain Yami. Captain Yami, okay? We felt a a very dangerous aura. Around about where Finra said you and the new member." Roughly was. So, it was just this, here. So, nice to meet you, Asta. Yeah, and that you thought was definitely from me. So, we'll just look at it, it's like, from you, it's like, yeah. Whereas I can use a form of magic, I guess you could say my form of magic is weaker and stronger than all of yours combined at the same combined. So like, what? How can that be? It's like, well, as I said, it's a different form of magic, and they're like, oh, you quite cocky. It's like, and that character's like, one night they'd go, Yami, is he joking? You've got to be joking, right? We thought he was strong, but it's like, well, put it this way, the only way I would be able to hurt him if he was an enemy would be to on hand-to-hand combat, and that'd be the only way. Magic would be out of the question, as well. He looks at him and he's like, he just nods his head. As Yami continues, as he's got, his form of magic is anti-magic. Then look back at him, anti-magic? It's like, the actual form of magic? It's like, as I said, it's a different form of magic. It's not quite magic, it's like different to magic altogether, because if I touch someone with my anti-magic, you'll lose all ability to use your magic, as, you won't have none. And I can also kind of create a dead zone of mana and magic, or just a dead zone of mana, where if you walk into it, you could still use the magic, but only until you run dry. Then once you run dry, you won't be absorbing anymore or getting refilled, as there'd be none. Or as you walk in, you literally can't use magic, or there'd be none in the air or that. And they're like, huh, that's kind of pretty handy. It's like, well, yeah, it's handy, and it's also can be quite deadly to some people who, well, yeah, because if you only use magic, my magic is probably the most deadliest thing you've ever seen. And if you use magic occasionally, but mainly say focus on body strength, or both, you work on both equally, then you should be fine. As long as you're physically strong, then you're pretty fine. You'll be quite fine, but otherwise, yeah, and well, the day would kind of finish off like that. It'd be the next day as he wakes up. No kind of what is it? The new kind of, oh yeah, let's see, if you've got the strength to be in the Black Balls. They felt a demon's aura, and he they asked the captain, and he's like, oh yeah, it's just me there, and new person. Now they know he's got anti-magic, so yeah, they probably quickly decided, yeah, let's not mess with him. And yes, I know they're crazy, but when I mean by that, I just mean not do that ceremony, because the person that's actually doing it would be the person that gets hurt, not the general other way around. Yeah. But yeah. And, well, yeah, because it would go it was Friday night, it would go to morning, and Asta wakes up to, of course, narrow on the window. Not on the window, well, yeah, just in his room as he wakes on. He's like, oh, right, it wasn't a dream. Awesome, I'm a member of the Black Balls. Yeah. He thinks about it, he's like, oh, well, I guess all the other nightcaps, if they knew I had 2 criminal rights, they'd probably also ask me to, be on their team, but, Yami didn't know, he only saw one, and he got the bonus extra of having 2 and a person that can use anti-magic. Yeah. And he was like, well, more like he got a person that somehow managed to start generating his own anti-magic, and a demon. Asta, don't forget about me, brother. As like, yeah, I haven't. Have you been? Haven't taught? You haven't really taught in a while. And he's like, well, kind of well, I was just thinking, and if there's someone that can summon a demon, or even because your anti-magic may be able to undo the seal that's keeping me in, but you may want to tell your the captain first before doing it, because having a sudden demon in the hideout probably isn't going to go well for everyone, and then to find out that it's a brother of yours, yeah, people are going to quickly start asking questions. So you may want to build up a get to know them all and become friends with them all first. And yeah, so you'd of course go around as, I can't remember his name, as he pretty much shows Asta around, and the same thing would happen as he goes, oh, and then this one, as he opens the door to Yami sitting on the toilet, and his eyes is boom, as they run for their lives. Yeah. The dogs though wouldn't, well, the dogs or Yami's pets wouldn't actually go to try and eat, or try and eat Asta. They would just they would be the ones just backing away from Asta because of his because like they could sense, like, you know, like there's a demon or demonic energy around him, which would just be like, you know, his brother always, you know, at least Liebe wanting to keep in his brother Asta, you know, safe. So yeah, as of course, Asta does kind of give them food as they slowly come, you know, like closer. Yeah, you know, he's like, they're never that friendly with me. You know, they seem to like you, or even scared of you, as he kind of like, about, as Asta kind of backs away just to see, and as they, you know, as they kind of look at Asta, as just notice how, like, you know, yeah, do whatever you want to him. as it immediately goes to as it opens its mouth, as he's now fighting for his life. Yeah. And of course, then they'd, like, you know, I think go outside after some time, and they would run into, I forgot her name now. Damn it! Why did I have to forget her name? Right. Yeah. They would run into Noel as. Oh, yeah. You'd go, Asta, this is our other new member. But she'd go over to her and go, what's your name again? It's just like, Noel, I'm a noble woman. Yeah, and then say her name is Noel. Yeah. And, you know, she try and just, like, use some magic, which kind of backfires instead of firing at Asta. Yeah, and it fires at the other person, and he's like, what was that for? It's like, and then just turns away. And he's just like, what was that for? And he's just puzzled. And yeah. And so, yeah, then, you know, like a couple hours would go by, and then of course some magic backfires as a massive water ball appears out of nowhere with her inside of it, as I think slowly starts to lose consciousness, I think. As like, you know, everyone I think just runs outside, and Asta is kind of just standing going, how do we save her? Yeah, maybe, you know, we have to, like, save her, what we can do. And he just looks at Asta and he just goes, well, we're not going to do nothing, Asta, you're going to save her. He's like, what, why me? As he's like, well, you better do something quickly, you better figure out something quickly, as he picks up Asta and throws him straight at her. Yeah. As he quickly kind of just goes, oh right, so no, wait, would that even work? And as almost time slows down for him, as Leo's like, Asta, I'm pretty sure it will work, but also don't forget you can also use your anti-magic, even though I don't think it's going to be great. You know, you may be able to just keep yourself from drowning inside of that, but you won't be able to dispel it. Like, the only other way is if you decide to use, you know, my power. And, like, you know, like, yeah, I know I said this morning, like, you know, this morning that it wouldn't be a great idea to you know, release me if we could without anyone knowing. Or yeah. It's just like, well, that, you know, if it's the best shot of saving her, then I'll happily use your brother. I'll happily use your power, brother. Yeah. As, you know, time kind of starts resuming as he closes his eyes, as then, you know, everyone can feel like the demonic energy once again, as, you know, they're kind of like they're just like scared a bit, as of course, black, like his arm goes black and that. As a ring also sprouts from his back, and Asta just puts his arm out as his arm just hits the water, as it just vanishes. All the water just vanishes as Asta grabs Noel and quickly falls out of it, just so that if anyone does try and save him, the portal guy, Finral, I think his name is, yeah, don't know, but yeah, like if he tries saving them with his portals, he probably end up kind of cancelling it out instead of, yeah, probably not a great idea to cancel out and then lose a chunk of your arm. Yeah. So he pretty much falls back to his normal form, and as the guy, the poor guy. I should have. This is annoying because I really. Oh yeah, I've been saying this now. Finral, yes. As Finral does his portals, and as kind of just does a thump on the ground as I start. Thanks Finral, thanks for that. Yeah, it's no problem, Asta. It's like you're pretty strong too, especially your anti-magic. That just wiped out that that amount of magic in a second. And as that you don't have to be scared of me, Finral. I'm not gonna hurt anyone unless you give me a direct reason to. I'm not gonna hurt no one here. You're my team, my family, you could say. Yeah. And he kind of just tells Noel what he does in canon, and she kind of starts developing, of course, feelings for him also. Well, no, not also. She starts developing feelings for him. Yeah. Well, yeah. And of course, a couple of days, go by, and then it's that first mission as what's his name? Oh, as Magna, I guess. Yeah, as Magna is, it's like, you three, Magna. Oh yeah, was it? I think it was Magna and Yami that had come back pretty much bare naked, because they agreed to help him out if they lost, which they practically lost everything. Yeah. So of course, as they find their clothes and get dressed, as Yami tells them what they're gonna do, and Asta go, and so the course go, and Magna is like, well, and you're welcome to hop on with me, as Asta's like, nah, I can kind of fly myself. And she's like, oh, you can fly with a broomstick? He's like, well, no, not a broom, a sword, more like it. She's like, oh, what, you can fly with your sword? He's like, wait, you have a sword as well? It's like, yeah. And saying that as he kind of calls for his 5-leaf grimoire, as it appears, and he pulls out his sword. But he also calls for his 4-leaf and puts it in. As it's just like, well, we all know you've got, 2 grimoires. It's like, well, you know, but what happens, what about everyone else? They'd think I'm strange for having 2 grimoires. So always keep this one hidden, as it then goes back to its hiding place in his bedroom in the black balls. Yeah, and Asta then puts out the sword as Magna and Noel kind of just like surprises like her, and Magna's like, well, that wasn't right a minute ago. It's like, well, no, you're right. It's because like this one, well, of course when it's like its black rusted state, that's, or at least the state I got it in, so I always think that as its proper state, so it always just belongs in the 5-leaf. So, but of course the 4-leaf is my grimoire, and because I have anti-magic, when I put it in there, it pretty much fills it back with magic, and so it pretty much fixes all the like rustic stuff and that the like 5-leaf grimoire does to it, which is like demonic anti-magic, so it like changes everything about it. And yeah, so after kind of Asta roughly explains why him and Libe thinks it changes, yeah, and a couple of, I'd say like 2 to 3 minutes would go by as you go, that's kind of roughly what I think that happens. And anyway, it's like I could fly with someone else, if and there's Noah's she's like, what? And that's just like, well, considering what happened, when you used your magic before, I'm guessing you don't have great control over it. And you're gonna have to either fly with either Magna or me. Mind you, if you fly with Magna, you really only have to hold the broom. If you fly with me, you're gonna have to hold on to my back. Yeah, as we go pretty fast, faster than a standard broom, put it that way. And I'm only using my sword to not really stand out as is like, what? It's like, well, it's like, what? You can fly even with her? It's like, well, yeah, remember my kind of demonic state I entered? Or like the energy, like the demonic energy. It's like, yeah, that. It's like, yeah, I can use that to use that, and I can fly with that. Mind you, I've stalled like getting control over it, so it's not great. So I instead a lot better flying with the sword instead. But yeah, and Noah decides to just go with Magna's, even though her feelings and how she feels around Asta or pulling her to Asta, she decides Magna, and as she kind of thinks, well, if that sword's anti-magic and he's also got anti-magic, it would just be taking away my magic before we fight if we have to, so it's just better if I go with this person here, as much as I don't want to. When she doesn't really think that, she chooses it, but she doesn't really feel like she feels odd, to say the least. Yeah. As Magna kind of goes, oh right, if you think you're faster than me, let's go then. As she pretty much, after hearing that, holds on quite tight as he launches off at pretty much his top speed, or as fast as the broom could go with 2 people on. As Asta pretty much quite easily catches up. It's like, really, I'm pretty much doing nothing at this point. So you go as he just just lays on the sword. He's like, oh, do you know what? Why don't you lead the way, and I'll just set this into autopilot. So yeah, and I can nap a bit Yeah, just trying to see. It was just trying to see if winding them up, would make them go any faster. As it surprisingly works, but it doesn't go much faster. It's like, well then, Asta, let's see how fast you can go then. As Asta's like, oh, okay, as he stands up and vanishes. Pretty much, like, 1 second he's there, the next second they just hear a sonic boom as he's, travelling around Mach 3 now. Just going across the sky. Yeah. As he kind of also then turns back and goes, as he's pretty much just hovering there. It's like, I think, I might have gone a bit too fast. As he goes back, as they're like, you're back, where do you go? It's like, well, I went quite far in one direction. So I decided to turn back, because, well, I don't exactly know where we're going. So that's why I said, I'll just put this in autopilot, so that I can, so that I don't get lost, because I don't know where we're going exactly. And that's what I'm gonna end here, guys. So in the next part, it should be when they kind of get there, and that's what happens kind of in canon, but a bit differently. So yeah, if you guys have enjoyed it, if you enjoyed it so much and similar to this, so subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next What If or video. To bother do, and hey, good bye. Oh, and also, guys, sorry for the shortest episode. As I said, I'm kind of stuck on time, but yeah, anyway, good bye.